Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today is Monday. We're right back at the top of the workshop looking at the top performing map of the moment, and it's this one. This one, it's a creator, one of a couple of creators this week that I would describe as modern old school creators, in that they make maps that are just, there's almost a simplicity about them, but also a little bit complex at the same time. Does that make any sort of sense? And it's all about playability. It's not about tricks, and even though there are some tricks and skills in there, they're just good, solid map makers. And this one is one of those. We're going to follow that one up today in the second half of today's show by a YouTuber who's one of my preferred YouTubers. Really do enjoy. I'll tell you about them later. And it's their first map, so we'll have that to come. But first of all, we got this. Here it comes. And that's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people, and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's first map is Shoal vanilla map. There you go. Vanilla maps in the logo. Look at that. Wow, logo. Sorry. Calm down. Calm down. I'm so excited. It's Snoozby. I love Snoozby. I really do. It just starts square. As start squares go, there's nothing really to say there. It's all in place, isn't it? It's all in place. There's your terrain heights. Now, it looks very unplayable, doesn't it? We've got all of these hills where... No. Far from it. Far from it. Resources are field painted and dotted and splodged and whatever. Again, for an old style, old school game, that's going to work perfectly. And if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, your fishing map will look like that. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it says vanilla map, doesn't it? Which means mainly that it's vanilla, right? We'll be using the Lush Coast theme and the Clean and Clear LUT, which of course you don't need. You can use the vanilla themes and the vanilla LUTs. It will load up fine. There are optional themes and LUTs, which I've just told you about. I'm just reading ahead. They go, what? Now, since the last update, this map doesn't work with Tree Anarchy. I will tell you about that in a moment. I just want to say, look at this. That road goes a full loop. It's a ring road, and it's very nice. It's Snoozby, okay? It's very nicely done. We'll start with going over a big old bridge. Everybody loves a big old bridge. It's not so much of a big bridge, but it's a solid bridge. Some good standards there. Look at the good standards. It's all about good standards, yeah. And yeah, you may notice from down here, it looks very, very non-flat. But it's an illusion. All of these little hills, there's so many little spiky hills on the map, and they just hide loads, and I mean loads of buildable areas. You're not going to do one big sprawling grid city here. You're going to be doing lots of small towns, and it's going to feel really very nice when you do so, in my opinion. I'm going to stick with it. Now, anyway, trees. Okay, if you have Tree Anarchy, uninstall it for this map. Just for this map, because it's just one of those that sometimes maps don't work. And this one, well, oh, hang on. This is the biggest problem with the map, by the way. That's a slight oversight. That's an oops. And that's very easy fixed by you or by Snoozby if they ever come and update the map. But that is the biggest problem with today's map. Along with the fact that if you've got Tree Anarchy and if you need Tree Anarchy, well, it might be worth trying out. I haven't tested it, but it might be worth trying out the old system, the old prop and Tree Anarchy, if you need it. But we're not over the tree limit here. Oh, we've got this tree here. Bothers me a little bit in that location, just a little bit. Don't mind the trees down the middle too much. I have said in the past that I do, but I'm growing to not mind so much. But yes, that particular tree bothers me just a little bit. Okay. Anyway, we're going to do you know what? I think we're going to follow a full loop of this ring road around the map. So just give you a feel. Well, shall we take a look at the start square? I'll tell you what, we'll take a turn off in a minute and we'll have a look at the start square and we'll do a full loop. So I just want to give you, because the thing with this map is it's an entirety thing. You know, you can't just look at one section and go, and the rest of the map is exactly like this. Well, the rest of the map is kind of exactly like what you're looking at now. But there are nooks and crannies and areas and zones, and it's just, again, it's Snoozby, a really very nicely designed map. And good networking skills. And, of course, good networking skills because Snoozby. Anyway, yes, this is a nice map. But it's one of those maps that I think if you know what you're looking for and this is what you're looking for, you are going to play it. I don't think we're going to persuade people that don't want to play a map like this to play this map. Oh, by the way, have a little look at this roundabout down here. It's the old I can't remember what that guy's called, but he's got the antennas and the old squinty eye face. I'm not going to appropriate that as anything because I'm going to get into a lot of trouble. But yes, it's an iconic icon. It's an iconic icon. That's what that is. I'm not quite sure where I know it from. I'm pretty sure, somebody's going to tell me in the comments that is kind of like Hello Kitty or something like that. That's what it is. It's something like a Hello Kitty, and I just don't know what it is. But again, I don't think at my age I'm going to be learning all these modern little icons and stuff. I've just discovered, thanks to Mr. Miyagi, the last few days, that the emoticon that I use the most, the cross, the X, the capital X, and the capital D, to indicate that you're laughing. Apparently, that's old now. That's old. I've just learnt it. Stop it. Well, I said just learnt it. I've been using it for about 5 or 6 years, I guess. And like, what? Yeah, I'm not learning something new. Okay, please. Can't deal with it. Can't keep up. Anyway, you can see this ring road. It does a ring around the waters. It's very, very nice. Very, very nice. And there are some really... There's one particular thing on today's map. Today's first map, this one, Shoal, by Snoozby, that really stands out for me as being counterintuitive, but in a good way. A good way. And something that maybe, again, occasionally I make notes from maps, and I think this is one where I'm going to make a note about this counterintuitive thing for next time I make a map, maybe to use the technique that they've used, but we will get to it on when we get to that. Now the rail, the rail does basically what the roads do. This is the most interesting part of the rail. There's nothing wrong with it. I just want to show that this is the bit, if the rail was going to go wrong or janky or wonky or do something silly, it would be here, going up through this ravine. And the slopes here, they just feel nice and they feel like they work. So if the rail was going to go wrong, it would have been there, and it doesn't. So we got rail like the roads, basically. And we've got a very nice shaped map. Very nice shaped map. Now, shipping routes. I'm going to do them now. Because, again, we've got some... normally, I'd go down and show you all of the routes and whatever. And we're not going to do that today. Because, you can see here, we've got one that goes up this way. We've got all the shipping triangles. They're all very pretty. They go into all the nooks and crannies in ways that you believe. But we also have a bit of an isthmus down here. And this one here, see, and if you want to get shipping on the other side, we do have a little shipping line going on there. So you could put your harbour on either side. And I like that addition. Thank you. Thank you, Snoozby. Right, water flow in the start square. We have a good strong spawn point. Look at that. Pushing through. If you want to do a vanilla style pump and draw, well, you can. And it will work fine. Again, at Snoozby. They know what they're doing, which is good. I'm glad one of us does. Anyway, look at the shape of this map. Look at the shape of the map. Now, again, let me show you some of these rivers. There's a lot, as you can see, there's a lot of rivers on the map. This is probably the most intricate little mishmash of rivers going on. Again, it could have been more intricate and more fiddly and whatever, but Snoozby's not that type of builder. They give you something strong to work with and maybe to take to the next level. Volcano. Right, I didn't see this coming. I don't hate it. I like it. I don't love it. But hey, listen, it's all down to personal taste. Everybody's going to say, no, I love it. Good. Good. I'm glad you love it. Go play the map, okay? Got a little bit of glitchy water coming down the sides here. In some places I buy, and some places I don't. Some places it just looks like it's glitching. Maybe a little bit of vanilla rock work down there, or making a little bit of cliff edges as well, just to in some of these places I might have bought. But yes, some of those glitchy bits I'm really good with, others less so. Right. Then we have a water-filled volcano. I would have done without these edge of map water spawns. I just would have put them in the volcano. Yes, we're right at the edge of the map. Nobody's going to care. It's deep in the fog. Blah de blah de blah. But even so, I think that wasn't really necessary to have them on the edge. Or maybe just imagine that the volcano continues it even higher up the side of the map there. Field painting. They're potatoes, potato fields. They look like potatoes, and you probably grow potatoes in them. And they are across the map. I like the shapes of them. They take out some of the angularness of the mountains, and that's kind of sweet. Now, the undersea sand detailing is actually, this is the counterintuitive thing, it's not. It's taken away. It's erased the sand. So what we got is sand painting down, and where the fresh water is running, we've actually deleted the sand. And I think on this particular map, that works very nicely indeed. Really, there's one for your notebooks. I like them. Snoozby, you're in my notebook, okay? That's great. Okay, now trees. Again, it's fairly standard across the map, but the distance between the trees on all these areas, it kind of works. Well, we do have a few areas where we do have a change of density, like over here with the big tall trees tucked in there as well. But yes, the tree density across the map, it kind of works within this style of map. Looking at the shapes of the mountains look great. They really do. One thing I've said this before, I'm not entirely sure about clusters of trees on the tops of mountains, because from certain distances, let's see if we can see any. Like there's a little clump up there. From certain distances, the way that they render in looks a bit clumpy. Like you've almost like got a like, I don't know, a Mohican haircut. That, you know, no, this one here, this doesn't have any on the top, and that really works for me. I love that mountain. It's my favourite mountain on the map because it doesn't have a clump of trees. However, there are obviously exceptions. Like here, this one feels like it should have trees on the top of the mountain. And the big difference there is you can actually see that it all connects up with the ground. So you've got like a path of trees here, almost connects up there, and in a way that I can just about believe and buy into. But there are little ones occasionally across the map where you just get a little cluster of trees at the top of a mountain, and they stand out in isolation. And yeah, it's just something that I think you should be a little bit careful of. But look at all this buildable space. All of these field areas are buildable areas, and that's quite a lot actually. And we've got an interesting waterfront as well, and all of those interesting mountains for background. I think, and the Tismus as well, I think it's a good map. But it's not my opinion that counts, it's yours. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now, or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. But make sure you're voting on Shoal by Snoozby, because there are, of course, 2 maps. What do I think of Shoal by Snoozby? Well, I mean, first of all, love Snoozby's work. I've not seen a bad map from Snoozby yet. This isn't, I don't think it's my favourite of Snoozby's maps, but it's nice, it's different, it's strong. I've got no complaints about it aesthetically. It's a really strong design again. I've got to go 4 stars. I'm going to go towards the lower end. Again, it's not my favourite, but I like it a lot. Detailing. I'd probably go about the same level, a lowish 4 again. But I'm going to drop it a little bit because of that bump in the highway. Yeah, that's definitely worth a little bit of a star off for that one. Gameplay potential, which feels very nice. It's very, very playable. Not going to suit for everybody, but do you know what? It doesn't matter. It's not a map I'll personally be playing, but I still see the playability. I still see a lot of potential in it. Middle 4 from me for Shoal by Snoozby. Definitely a strong map and one to be considered if you want to break up your Grid City play. But we do have a Grid City coming up in a moment. Oh, Grid City time coming up in a moment. Tell you what, let's do a BonBonB seal of approval. We haven't done one of those for, like, well, this week anyway. It's the first map this week. Anyway, we'll take a brief intermission, be right back after this message. And so we're back with a YouTuber, not a big YouTuber, but a YouTuber nonetheless, and one I've got a lot of time for. I like their style, I like their city build designs, I like a lot, and I love their voice. Their voice is so soothing to me. Now, they're a great city builder, but are they a great map maker? Well, we're going to find out. because you need to remember...
It's my first map.
That's right. And it might feel a little bit like it in places, but you can definitely see the standards throughout. Are you ready for today's second map? Oh, here we go. It's a Lake Success by Cities by Diana. And it tags my heart a little bit. Diana's my mother's name, and of course losing her this year, just saying Cities by Diana, yeah, just makes it comes a little bit close to home, but I'll be fine. There's your start square. That's strong. Terrain height, half the map's very flat. Listen, real life locations tend to have this sort of vibe to them. Good mix going on though. Strong resources across the map, so you've got that one. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we have was all of the little fishes there. I think mostly little fishes. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, Diana is a really good, strong city creator. We have one or two minor little diggly bits here, just minor little diggly bits on the workshop. Right, so it says that we are using, there we are, custom theme mix. There is no link to a custom theme mix, unfortunately. The only clue that we've got is the Central Florida theme for the water, okay, and Satellite LUT for the LUT. So I'm going to use those two. But yeah, it says at the bottom they'll link the theme mix collection. Well, I'm sure they will now because it's been brought to their attention, or hopefully will be, by this. Oh, it's a mass transit map as well. You will need mass transit for this one. That was listed, but I forgot to mention. But yes, so what I've decided to do was let the system work it out itself. We're going to use, well, we are using the theme which automatically loads with the map, which is the Vanilla Tropical theme. And into that Vanilla Tropical theme, I have mixed in the Central Florida theme for the water and the Satellite LUT for the LUT. And so that's the theme mix that I've got. However, this is true. This does not match the screenshots. So I could spend some time working it out, or I could message Diana. But the whole point of this show is, if you're just a random Joe picking up a map off of the workshop, does it work? Is it broken? Are there any issues with it? What are you going to have to deal with? And so it's not about getting creators to fix their map. It's to let you know what there is on the workshop without having any, any fixes thrown in advance. Anyway, there are some things to talk about here. That is a nice looking intersection, okay? Because Cities by Diana, she is very good. She is very good. Is she at $2.20? No, I'm picking $2.20 all the time these days. It used to be strict toaster. But is she at $2.20? Very nearly, I would say, you know? Very nearly. And as much as I like $2.20, just if I was just sitting down, listening to a voice for a little while, maybe it's just the soothing female voice that she has, and that West Coast American pang that she has. It's just, I like her. Okay. Anyway, start square intersection. Again, there's stuff to talk about here, and we will come back and we'll have a look at this in a moment. I just want to do a little overview and just show, because the thing with today's second map, this one, it's about the playability of it. Yeah, this is Grid City. Look at the space over there. This is Grid City, nudging into the mountains. Real life location, by the way, as well. We are just going past everybody's favourite factory. I'm doing that for the BonBonBingo players, all right. Link is in the description for the BonBonBingo. Yeah, we are West Coast here. We are midway in California, roughly midway between Bakersfield and Fresno. So that's where this height map's taken from. Now, obviously, we are nowhere near the tree limit. There's going to be a lot of room for you to use lots of extra trees in what would be, I'm guessing, a big Grid City build. And a lot of you are going to be going, but this is not going to be fair. BonBon doesn't like Grid Cities, does he? Maybe not, but doesn't mean I can't appreciate them. And some of the best cities I've seen in terms of technicality have been Grid City builds. So there is that. Okay, now let's be a little bit unfair. We have switched the rail, by the way. We're going to do road, then rail, then road again. Let's be unfair. There you go, Diana. That's the only thing of Catenary Chaos for the BonBonBingo players that I could find on the map. Everything else looks absolutely fine. Just to show you, there we go. This is not on the rails, and so that's one to one. Let's show you another one that is in Diana's favour. There we go. It was the only occasion I could find on the map. And you're looking at the routes of the rail and you're going, these make a lot of sense. See, we're going a relatively smooth route, avoiding all the hills. So again, there has to be a certain amount of credibility thrown into the rail route that's been taken. Apart from one little place, which is in this little valley here, you can actually see it elevates. Now, how much is it elevating? Is it just smooth? Is it soft? Or is it actually quite steep? That is actually just a little bit on the steep side. Maybe a tunnel would have worked better, possibly at that location, is my thought. Very easy to fix, of course, as a city builder. Just get in there, just stick it to underground and put a couple of tunnel entrances on if you really want to detail it. Anyway, and then that goes off towards the edge of the map over there. Meanwhile, back on to the national roads, the mass transit national roads. This is the I'm going to say the secondary road going across the map. It's not going to connect up. You won't find any traffic running down here because at this point, because it doesn't actually connect in. But when you start building a city, this will become an active road because I'm pretty sure you are going to be using this. You're going to be connecting this one up at some point. Just be aware that you may have an awful lot of traffic once you start building your city running to the, I'm guessing this is the north? Guessing it's north. It might be the east or the west or the south because I'm not sure which way around the map's supposed to go. But we've got a dam. Damn it. Lovely. Coming back to the dam. Again, there's plenty of things that I've skimmed over that I will be coming back to because there are things to talk about. Some of it good. Some of it very easily fixable. There you go. Bad isn't the word. Very easily fixable basically says, listen, it's one click here or two clicks there. We'll get to them. Anyway, there's your national road. It's going to end down there, which is just shy of the start square. So if you buy that as your second tile and connect that one up, you'll end up with quite a bit of traffic going up and over the dam. There's your start square area in there. So just one to bear in mind when you start building. Okay, now let's talk about little niggly things. Just little niggly things. This little niggly thing niggled me a little bit. The shoulder on the off-ramp there is very vanilla style, whereas this one's very smooth. So that one, the traffic has to slow to exit, and it's just a little, again, niggly. As I said, these are like one-click fixes, yeah? Up here, this one niggled me a little bit more because the obvious about to see. Yeah, we've got a little bit of terrain ziggy-zagging there. You can see the pixelization going on, digitalization going on down there. So yes, there's just a little bit of smoothing that can be done, maybe a bit of detailing or whatever. But if those are the worst things wrong with the map, then it's not really a bad map, is it? Now, there's no shipping route on the map, as it's actually explained in the description, because we are inland. There are air routes. I'm not even going to show you them today, because I don't think it really matters. As long as you've got a route going across the map, you're going to get air traffic connections. And the map's a bit boring over in this direction. Again, for grid city build, maybe boring is what you want. I'm going to switch the terrain lines on. There they are. And it's very flat, isn't it? It's also a little bit uninspiring to me. Others are going to love it. But to me, that area just needs a little bit more interest. I'm glad these two rivers are in, though. These rivers just help. They shape the map. They break the map a little bit. They just add a little bit of definition. And without these, that entire southern part of the map would be really quite dull. So I'm really glad they're here. Also loving the differences between the textures on one side to the other side. Yes, I think it's oil resource from memory on one side. And again, we've got a little bit of tree painting going up the side. It just adds a little bit of definition to the river, a little bit of shape to the river. Makes you think that the river's actually alive. And again, I'm really glad they're there. Then you have the main river, which again is a good shape. It's very, very interesting shape. We haven't got anything ridiculous going on. We haven't got a million drowned trees. With no shipping routes coming up here, those bridges are a perfect height. We've got plenty of islands for island building if you want to break your city up. This area here is enticing to me. I want to build in this area. I'm just lost by the swathes of open land on the other side. We have a fish face. An alien fish face. Thinking of that Doctor Who episode. That was it. The Doctor's Daughter. If you watch Doctor Who, the Doctor's Daughter, that reminds me of the aliens in that. Also, this is kind of like troll face. Is somebody trolling me? Is somebody trolling me? I'm sure that that's trolling. I saw that, Diana. Anyway, what I really like though is the rock work here. The rock work, you imagine that this water would have been a different flow, and by putting the dam there, it's changed the environment and the water levels may be a little bit lower. I think that is very, very insightful. Because we're using the vanilla rocks, we do have the vanilla trees, which are drowned trees. Yes, they have their trunks on. But yeah, you can remove those using Bob, the prop and tree remover or replacer. Definitely worth checking that one out if you're playing with mods. Loving the shapes of the hills with this the old Trolls Cave on the top. This is inspired. Okay, I don't think it quite works, but it very nearly does. And same here. I don't think it quite works. In fact, I can imagine the erosion. And again, with the correct theme, these probably look amazing. Remember, we are using the vanilla tropical theme because the actual theme mix isn't listed. That would probably score bonus points. I like what's been done, and I imagine it's amazing. I just don't see it the way that we've got it set up. Now, the old reservoir up here, you'll see some bumps. Like we've got a bump over there, we've got a bump down here. Probably water spawn points, yeah? Let's have a little look and see if we've got water spawn points. And we've got a lot of them. In fact, we've probably got too many. I can see what's happened. I think Diana has had problems controlling the water up here. And it can happen. You can actually do this with just 1 or 2 main spawns. But that might be flooding. Let me have a little look for tree drowning down here. No, they're fine. They're fine. But yes, yeah, there's an awful lot of spawns, and a few of them are causing protrudences in the water that can be seen visually. So that's a little score off for aesthetics there as well. Anyway, that's the map. What do you think of it? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. Use it at the end of the month. The Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now, or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. But remember to vote on Lake Success by Cities by Diana. Every time I say that word, I often say my mum's name out loud, and every time it's like, it gets me. Anyway, what do I think of today's second map? Aesthetically, I like the design. I think it's a really insightful area. I think with the correct theme mix, this might easily be a 4-star map, but it doesn't, and there's not quite enough here to persuade me. So I'm going to go for a very high 3 stars. Detailing, I'm going to do a little bit better. I don't think there's quite enough here to... There's 4-star standards, but I don't think there's quite enough of them for me to award the 4th star. So I'm going to go a little bit higher than the high 3 to a very high 3. Gameplay potential, whilst I don't like Grid City maps personally, this one definitely feels very playable, and I can see a lot of people inspired to use it. So I'm going to go into 4 stars on that one. I'm going to go for a lowish 4, as much because there's stuff that kind of wants, like, adding stuff to entice me. Lake Success by Cities by Diana. Yeah, the theme mix. Diana, could you add the theme mix link, please? Be so helpful. Thank you. I did check, but before you point fingers, I have checked her workshop page, and there isn't anything on her workshop page. So there's that. But it was a first map, so there's that also. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing, and for being there for me, and for using that there comment section for the word of the day. Use it, abuse it, and prove you're part of the 20 and out elite. And I'll be back on Wednesday. Thanks for watching.